In the old days at NATO, they used to joke that God created Poland for tank warfare. The Polish petrochemical company, Orlen, is the 10th largest taxpayer in Norway. Ladies and gentlemen, the last few years have made it very clear where our friends are, certainly in Northern Europe. Evil European Union, getting the Russians occupy Norway. I come here with a simple message. Poland also looks north. We are willing to develop our bilateral cooperation with Norway even further. I believe our countries have a unique role to play on our continent. Our geographic locations give our countries a strategic role in their respective regions with regard to Russia. And it even goes deeper than that. You know, Poland is between East and West. In the old days at NATO, they used to joke that God created Poland for tank warfare. We are trying to get away from that image. And we now like to think of ourselves as southern Scandinavia. You may or may not know that our Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, actually belongs to the Kaszebę national minority in Poland, and they were originally a Baltic tribe. So here you are. We all understand that to have peace with Putin, we need to be united and ready to defend one another. To convince you how serious this is, I once, a couple of years ago, I asked the chairman of BP how much it cost them to clean up the mess created by Deepwater Horizon. Do you remember? In the Gulf of America, once called the Gulf of Mexico. The total cost, the rescue operation, the cleanup, and the payoffs, and the legal costs, $65 billion, half the value of the company. The Arctic is becoming a region of growing tensions. Please be sure that you will not be alone in facing this new challenge. Poland is no newcomer to the Arctic. Next year, we will mark the 70th anniversary of the permanent Polish polar station, Hornsund, in Svalbard. And we've just agreed with Espen that we would go and visit it together next year. Rest assured that if you ever apply to join the European Union, I am confident in saying that whoever is in charge in Poland will vote in favor. Ladies and gentlemen, the last few years have made it very clear where our friends are, certainly in Northern Europe. Well, you know, in Poland we are mostly Catholic, so we know that human nature is fallible, but and that we are sinners, but it's still nice to have the 10 Commandments as an aspiration. Exactly. And this is how we think of the rules-based international order.
That's good.
There have been many breaches over decades, but it was still a reference point.
Yeah.
And now some people say that we don't even need it as a reference point, and that's a problem. We all know that the UN Security Council, for example, doesn't reflect the distribution of power in the world.
No.
Not a single African country, not a single Latin American country is a permanent member. India, 1.5 billion people, not on it. And, you know, with the invasion of Ukraine, a permanent member of a body that was charged originally with maintaining the peace uses its membership as an immunity from prosecution for an act of blatant aggression.
Yeah.
So sure, the UN is in danger of going down the route of the League of Nations. But that should not be a pretext for dismantling it altogether. also because so many UN agencies do sterling work, UNHCR, World Food Programme, and many others. And also, if you are proposing an alternative, the alternative should be better than the original. And that's not what we have at the moment. Well, we traditionally have won and lost most, if not all, our wars on land, whereas your fortes are at sea and in the air.
Exactly.
Which means that we are complementary. And this northern dimension of our policy is that we are natural allies. So for us, the sense of threat from a Russia that has adopted an imperialist state ideology, for us, it's not an option, it's existential. This is what binds us together. And when I talk about southern Scandinavia, I don't mean just the security dimension. I mean that this is our ambition, that's the kind of society we want to be. You know, there are threats to democracy, polarization, and so on. And it seems that smaller countries are better positioned to withstand them because it's easier to maintain trust.
Yeah.
And we also aspire to your social model, whereby the economy is free and competitive, but government is clean and social services are at a high level. There's also a longer history of your involvement in my part of the world than some people appreciate. Didn't Charles XII die besieging some Norwegian fort? He did, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
It's all his fault. Because if he hadn't lost the Battle of Poltava, everything would be different today.
Yeah.
But we took him
Poltava is on the way to. For those who don't know where Poltava is, it's sort of one of the last stops on the way to Kharkiv.
Yeah, but he died in Halden in Norway.
We took
Probably shot from one of his
own. It was
own.
a different government.
It was. Okay. At least you were not defense minister at that time. No. You both
Not that
has
I remember.
been... Okay.
I saw this excellent series about Norway called Occupied.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it,
Yes.
is the evil European Union getting the Russians occupy Norway and collaborating with the Russians. Well, as long as I have anything to do with the Polish government, Poland will not participate in the occupation of Norway.
Okay, good.
That's a deal.
And when I was a member of the European Parliament, I was banging on about it all the time. You know, what has to happen? Does Putin have to invade Ukraine for all of you to understand that we should not be defenseless? And I think this question is becoming more relevant at a time when our American allies are telling us frankly, we do not have either the capacity or even perhaps the will to attend to two crises simultaneously around the globe, and you have to take better care of yourself.
Is Poland discussing to acquire nuclear weapons?
No, we're not. First of all, because we are in the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and secondly, because nukes have shown to be useless in the Russia-Ukraine war. And thirdly, because Iran shows you that whereas getting a nuclear weapon like North Korea is useful, it assures regime preservation and is a deterrence, getting from A to B is very dangerous, takes a long time, and can ruin your country and prove counterproductive.
Let's end with some positive signs. Minister Sikorski invited in his speech new economic cooperation with Norway in new fields. Do you have something to come up with?
Well, we're cooperating. There are, I think there will be more news about concrete cooperation coming up in the course of the day, to say that first. But there's also, it's a very fast-growing partnership on all fronts, civilian and military. And Poland is a growing, I mean, many countries have benefited to join the EU. I don't really think anybody's benefited as much and as demonstrably as Poland. That has made it also a big market for us. And Radek said earlier today that we're compatible with, and this is also true for our economic partnership. So on all these things, there will be more.
Yeah, good.
But inside the framework of the EU/EEA, which means that we have a single market, and that single market is increasingly important to preserve. And we work with our close friends to remind them that the single market does not have 27 members, but 30. So please remember Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein every day when you get up in the morning. And that's always work in progress. Yeah.
And when people say they are half Scandinavian, we should accept them.
Bring it on. Yeah. There's space.
Your financial credibility is such that you don't need the SAFE instruments. But for us, it's important. It's 150 billion euros for reindustrializing Europe in the area of defense. And here we already have some important projects, and I am sure we will have more.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for a very interesting discussion and reflecting so openly on where we stand in European security today, and particularly to Mr. Sikorski taking the time to come to Oslo to our conference. And I hope you have had good conversation with others as well. And safe flight back. Yes, then
Thank you.
give them a big hand.
Thank you.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.